Hello. Let us talk about tobacco cessation, otherwise called as nicotine de-addiction. So, whatever I am going to teach you, it is not only related to nicotine de-addiction or tobacco cessation, it can be applied for alcohol de-addiction, it can be applied for mobile de-addiction, WhatsApp, Netflix, whatever it is. Okay, so the concepts are going to be, the basic concepts are going to be the same, but the where you apply that may be different. Okay, so usually when people come to me for quitting smoking, whatever I do, I will explain that process. Then I will tell you how you can get parallels of this to alcohol addiction or drug addiction. Okay, right. So when people come to me, I look at their behavior change. How much they are ready to change their behavior. So there is a theory called as trans-theoretical model that says there are 5 stages of behavior change. So, stages of behavior change. Okay. So, first stage is called as pre-contemplation. Second stage is contemplation. Third stage is preparation. Fourth stage is action. Fifth stage is maintenance. Okay, these are the 5 stages of behavior change. So, this theory says that behavior change is a process. There are other theories saying that behavior change is instant. If I want to get up at 5 o'clock, if I think about it in the night itself, I should get up at 5 o'clock, I can get up. So, that is behavior change theory that says that it is instant, but this theory says it is a process. So, when we say it is a process, it has got some stages. I would say all the de-addiction behavior, if you want to quit smoking or alcohol, or if you want to utilize WhatsApp or social media to reduce that usage, then I would say that is more of a process. That does not happen just like that. Most of the time we think that, okay, let me quit smoking. So, this year resolution is quitting smoking, but every year resolution is the same resolution. Then that is not instantly possible. There are some processes involved. Okay. This says that in the beginning a person may be in pre-contemplation stage. So, where he thinks smoking is okay, it is not a problematic behavior, so he does not want to change. So, with related to quitting smoking, he is in pre-contemplation stage, he does not want to quit. Contemplation means thinking. So, pre-contemplation is he is not even thinking about it, he says that this is fine, it is doing some good things to me, it relaxes me, it improves my productivity. So, that is the pre-contemplation stage. Second stage is contemplation stage, where he just thinks about it. Okay, people say that quitting smoking is better for my health, but it improves my relaxation, it improves my productivity. So, he is a cat on the wall, he sometimes want to quit smoking, sometimes he does not want. So, he is just contemplating, he has not taken any decision. The third stage is preparation, where he has taken a decision, okay, let me quit smoking, but he has not started doing anything, he is just preparing. He is asking people, whoever has quit smoking, how did you quit? Or he buys some books and read how people quit smoking, or he installs some app and see how to quit smoking. He is just preparing, or he is trying to reduce the number of cigarettes. That is again preparation stage. Okay. The fourth stage is action, that is where he actually quits smoking, the number of cigarettes becomes 0. So, that is action stage. When that is taking place for a longer time, then he comes to maintenance. Maintenance is the stage where he does not have any urge to smoke, he is fine and he does not want to quit, he does not want to smoke again. So, that is the stage of maintenance. Between this action and maintenance, there can be lapse. Once he goes back to the same behavior, that is called as lapse. If that happens again and again, we call it as relapse. Okay. So, in between action and maintenance, relapse can happen. Okay. So, when my clients come, I assess in which stage they are. If they are in pre-contemplation stage, the approach will be different. If they are in contemplation stage, approach will be different. So, we need to find out where they are and then we need to give right approach. Okay. So, if they are in pre-contemplation, so they do not want to quit smoking, they think that smoking is fine and it is not harming them. In that case, you need to give information, not advice or suggestion, give information and it is up to him to take it or leave it, related to ill effects of smoking. So, if he understands all those ill effects, then he may move from pre-contemplation stage to contemplation stage. So, everybody knows it causes cancer, but the idea is cancer may happen at the age of 40 or 50, I am just 25. So, I do not have to worry about cancer. So, people know only about cancer, but there are a lot of things that they do not know. So, it causes infertility, many people do not know. There are a lot of infertility centers, otherwise called as fertility centers all over the city, but the treatment is for women, but most of the time men have this issue because of smoking or tobacco, or alcohol also can cause infertility, impotence. So, they do not undergo any treatment. Unfortunately, females undergo fertility treatment. Okay. So, it causes infertility. Okay. So, people do not know this, and the highest death rate is due to tobacco, but many people do not think this way because they think that no, cancer only make them die. No, tobacco starts and that leads to cancer, then that leads to death. So, most of the time tobacco is not blamed, cancer is blamed, or sometimes they commit suicide because they become infertile and because of that there are a lot of issues. So, they will think that he committed suicide. No, tobacco started that and that later led into infertility. Infertility lowered his esteem, that lowered him the will to live, he committed suicide. Okay. So, these connections people do not really think about. Okay. So, there are a lot of people dying due to tobacco every day in India. Can you think how many people would die every day due to tobacco? How many people do you think might die? 100? 200? 500? No. It is actually 2500 to 3000 people dying of tobacco every day. But they will not blame tobacco. They will blame tuberculosis, they will blame cancer, they will blame heart diseases, they will blame lung diseases, but the actual thing that is killing them is tobacco. Tobacco is the single most factor behind many deaths in India, not only in India, all over the world. Okay. So, this kind of information has to be given. I will give you a few more information that you would not have heard of, and again I do not have evidence for all that. I have been in this field for the past 9 years and I guess this is true. Okay. So, how many of you have watched advertisements for tobacco products or even alcohol products on TV? Not exactly advertisements you would have seen something else, warning messages you might have seen, or you might have seen surrogate advertisements. Surrogate advertisement is in the same name of the tobacco product or alcohol product, they will create another product and they will advertise that. So, there are a lot of such advertisements, McDowell's soda, Kingfisher. Okay. So, there are a lot of advertisements coming, and the person who is already into alcohol knows that Kingfisher means what. It is not water bottle, it is not airlines for him. For him it is liquor. Okay. So, similarly McDowell's soda, we are not going to buy soda by stating that I want this soda, this brand soda. No, we will be just asking soda. Okay. So, in Tamil Nadu there was one advertisement for Matchbox. And the Matchbox, we do not really ask for brand Matchbox, we will just ask for Matchbox. It is not the advertisement for Matchbox, it is the advertisement for BD. Okay. So, this is how they advertise, it is called a surrogate advertisement, because in India tobacco and alcohol advertisements are banned. Okay. You cannot directly advertise. So, they create new products in the same name they advertise, and human psychology is where you have heard that name first, you will be able to take that from your memory. So, when someone says Kingfisher, if I am a person who uses liquor, I will think about Kingfisher beer only, I am not going to think about Kingfisher water bottle or airlines. So, that is how psychology works. Okay. So, this is one thing, and they are cheating you. Another thing is, how many movies you have seen without tobacco or alcohol consumption. They would show tobacco or alcohol consumptions in some screen or the other. Without that, movies are not released. Okay. So, I believe that they give lot of money, these tobacco alcohol industries give money to the movie people, and they insert such scenes into their movies. Okay. So, why they do is because advertisement is required for any product. You have to advertise. For this course I have advertised, that is why you have joined. Okay. Without advertisement you will not come to know about a product. So, advertising is very important. Government has banned advertising. So, what will happen? We have to advertise, we have to keep showing them that see this is the product. So, we have to keep seeing them, only then we will buy. So, movies are in a way that gives the advertisement. So, when they show something in a movie, you are reminded of that. And when you keep watching movies, you will think that okay, this is normal, and movies, whatever they see, whatever they show or whatever we see there, it is the reflection of what is happening in the real life. So, we may think like that, and we will imbibe all those things. So, if you are sad and depressed and you are going to watch a movie and you are seeing a song with full of liquor or tobacco, and you will be triggered, and you will go out and drink, or you will go out and have smoke, because you are given that trigger. Okay. So, most of the time these are all made into songs. So, these songs are telecasted in the TV. So, if you watch TV by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in that evening to night time, lot of music channels will be showing liquor related songs. Okay. So, liquor related songs, why they are shown at 8 o'clock? You are depressed and you are watching this movie or music channel, then you will be triggered, you will be going to liquor shop and you will buy that. This is very unconscious. On the surface level, no, I am just watching, it cannot affect me, that is what you would say, but psychology says something else. We have done lot of researches that found out that you are triggered. When you are shown a product again and again, you have to buy, you have no other go. That is why there are repetitive advertisements. Okay. So, this is the strategy these tobacco and alcohol industries follows, and the clients, you are using tobacco, you are using alcohol, they do not know all these things. There are a lot of ill effects, there are a lot of issues in the family. I have studied in Cancer Institute. My MPhil Psycho-Oncology is from Cancer Institute, Chennai. I have seen lot of families having issues because of just one person having cancer. So, the person will be coming with the diagnosis of cancer, and the wife will be having a lot of jewels in her body. So, the first diagnosis ends, so 2 bangles will be out. Okay, because we require some money for exact diagnosis. Okay. So, then the first line of treatment starts, then few more bangles are gone, then the chain, everything is gone, and there will be savings for the son to study, and the son will obviously say, my father is very important, so let us take money and let us save him. So, that savings is over. Then the daughter will also say, I will get married later, no issues, I will earn and have money. So, whatever is the deposit you have for my marriage, so take that and put it for cancer treatment, and there would be lot of savings in the bank, or there would be a house, everything will be sold, because the man is the one who earned all these things. If we are not able to save his life, what is it? So, we will end up giving everything, probably at the end the man does not survive. Okay. So, whatever he has earned for 25 years or 30 years, it is all over in 15-20 days. It can happen, disease can bring down all your wealth. So, people will say that cancer killed him, no, tobacco killed him. Okay. So, financially people will go down, and it causes lot of other interpersonal issues. So if you don't, if you stop smoking, your wife or husband or your children will be thinking you are a great person. Otherwise, you will be a very bad role model for them. And you can say that I am smoking. It is my, free will. It is my behavior. It should not affect you. But children are going to observe and learn from you. Okay, so they are not going to just leave it like that. They have lot of possibilities to pick the habit from you. Do you want to be a bad father or a bad mother or a bad role model? No, we will never want. So people know it causes cancer, but there are a lot of other things people have to know. So if you can tell them all these things, then they will be probably moving to contemplation. If they move to contemplation, then your work is to help them to move to preparation. So a successful counselor will help the person to move from one stage to another. That's it. We cannot make him quit smoking at once. No, that is the pre-contemplation to action stage. That's not at all possible. Or maintenance stage. That's not at all possible. So when people are in contemplation stage, cost benefit analysis can be done. So cost benefit analysis, as I have told in another video. So this is a process where we have two decisions. The smoking is one decision, quitting is another decision. So what are the positives of smoking? What are the negatives of smoking? What is the positives of quitting? What are the negatives of quitting? So client can write many things here and here. Okay. Then you will be asking these two questions, whether every point is distinct with related to positives of smoking. The client may say that if I smoke, I will be productive. I will be able to complete the project very soon. They may be two different points for him, but when you ask this question, he can say that no, they are the same thing. So you can group it. Okay. So similarly, in every box, you have to see whether every point is distinct. Then you have to see whether there is any repetition here and here. Okay. So here he would say that it increases my productivity. Here he may say that it decreases my productivity. He is talking about productivity. Okay. So since we are going to give some scores, there should not be any repetition on the cross base. Okay. So make sure that there is no repetition here and here. Similarly, no repetition here and here. Then ask him to give a score for every distinct point in the scale of 1 to 10. So if there is repetition, strike it out. Okay. So for every distinct point, give a score in the scale of 1 to 10. To what extent is positive or to what extent is negative. So he says, okay, it increases my productivity, that is 10, and the negative is my wife doesn't like it. Okay, I will be able to manage my wife, so I will put it as 7. So he can say n number of things. So it is his points and it is his scoring. You should not intervene all that. So similarly here, okay, if I quit smoking, my health will improve, that is 10. The negative will be, my friends will blame me, will probably make fun of me, then I can manage it, that is only 2. Okay. So he can say something like this, 3, 8. So how many ever points he has given, so all those scores will be given. So for smoking, the score should be calculated this way: positive of smoking and negative of quitting. So for example, what the score given, 10 plus 2 plus 5 is 15. And for quitting smoking, 7 plus 8, 15, 25, 35. Okay. So 35 is the score. Then he is thinking about both, but he thinks more about quitting. So the score is high for quitting. But the score is 15 here. So we have to help him by working on these things, because if he is going to quit smoking, these negatives he will miss, and there may be some negatives, these positives he will miss because he is going to quit smoking. So his productivity may come down. That's his idea. Okay. Then you can use RACBT and ask him whether it is 100% true. Is it helping him to problem solve? So you need to dispute all these beliefs, because they are just beliefs. They are not facts. Okay. Then if you reduce the scores for smoking and if you increase the score for quitting, then he comes to this preparation stage. So in preparation stage, you will tell him there are 2 ways of quitting. Again, that's an information, and he will decide which one to choose. One way of quitting is cold turkey, another way of quitting is tapering. Cold turkey is quitting at once, tapering is reducing one by one. I would say cold turkey is a better method, but if the client says tapering is what he wants, let him do it, no issues. So if he is into preparation stage, you can tell him a plan. Okay, so you can ask him how many cigarettes he uses per day, Okay, and also the timing you can write. Okay, the first cigarette is 6 a.m. Immediately after getting up, then 7 a.m. once, okay, before going to office, probably 10 o'clock. Okay, you can write all these things, and if he says he wants to taper it down, so you can ask which cigarette that you want to quit now. Okay, so he may say that okay, so 6 a.m. it is very difficult, maybe 7 a.m. I can quit. Okay, so on the day 1 I will quit this. Okay, so he is reducing, that means he is tapering it down. So after 2 days, the number of cigarettes in the beginning it is 10, on the first day it becomes 9, then the second day, so he wants to quit one more. Okay, so after before office I will quit that, so that will be the second day. So on the second day he will not take it at 7 a.m. and also at 10 a.m. then it becomes 8. So similarly you will have plans and you will make it as 0. That is called as tapering. Cold turkey is setting a quit date and then decide that okay, I will not smoke from that day, and you can have some trial and error. So let me try my best to reduce smoking and have some coping strategies to deal with it. So you will have a plan. Okay, so I am not able to give up this 6 a.m. one because I am not able to pass motion. So instead of smoking, let me drink hot coffee or hot tea or hot water, or drink or eat some banana, so that it makes me to pass motion, something like that. So have some coping strategies, then that is plan 1. So similarly for every cigarette you need to have plans. When you have some trial and error for 10-15 days, then on the day of quitting you can quit at once. You will not have any issues because you will have lot of coping strategies. Okay, for every cigarette you need to have 1 or 2 coping strategies. So when you have that, then he can come to action stage, because when it is 0 only, number of cigarettes 0 only, it comes to action stage. That is when they may undergo lapse and relapses. We need to tell them that don't feel guilty. Lapse and relapses are part of any behavior change. You may smoke once or twice or 5 times, 10 times, don't worry, just come back. If they don't come back, they may go to pre-contemplation stage. If they come back, probably they will be in contemplation stage or preparation stage. It is easy to help them. So you need to tell them that they should not feel guilty and they should come back to you. Then when that process is done, then they come to maintenance. That is when they have to become anti-tobacco people. They should go and give awareness on the ill effects of tobacco. Then they wouldn't do that again. Okay, so this is the process of smoking cessation. So similarly, you can apply this process for alcohol. So if someone is in alcohol addiction, then if he is in pre-contemplation stage, give information that will help him to understand that quitting is better. So there are a lot of things that you can say. So many people think that social drinking is calm, is not going to harm them, it is cool, but I don't think so. So people who start as social drinkers may become addicts later. So nobody wants to become addicts. They still want to become social drinkers only, they want to stay there, but it doesn't happen. And my understanding is most of the time tobacco and alcohol, they are used as self-medication. They have depression, anxiety, going to a counselor or psychiatrist, it is very difficult for them. So taking a puff of cigarette or drinking alcohol, that makes them feel better. So I see that as self-medication, that's the easiest way for them. So when they have anxiety or depression or some other psychological disorder, treat that first. It may be part of psychotherapy. In that case, medication or psychotherapy should be given. Later you can work on quitting tobacco or alcohol. So make sure that they don't have any other issue. If they have depression or anxiety, start treatment for that. Okay. So yeah, social drinking can lead to lot of harm, and I have had some clients who have told that he was a social drinker, but he misbehaved with his own daughter. He was intoxicated, he did not know who is the wife and who is the daughter. And another client said that he misbehaved with a friend. Okay, so we do not know who is your girlfriend, who is your friend. So such things can happen, and social drinking is not cool. Okay, so there are a lot of other facts. Drinking and driving, how many people die because of these accidents, and we have seen terrible accidents with alcohol. Okay, so people will think that they will not get into all these things, but it can happen. Okay, so they have an irrational belief it will never happen, but it can happen is the rational belief. Okay, so when that happens, they can come to preparation stage. So they may be missing, and you can do this instead of smoking. You can see taking alcohol, social drinking, and quitting alcohol, and you can help them. So preparation, again, cold turkey and tapering. Cold turkey is a better method they can use, and there may be withdrawal symptoms for alcohol. With tobacco, again, there may be withdrawal symptoms. If they don't use the tobacco or alcohol, they may be feeling dizzy, tensed. Yeah, these are the withdrawal symptoms, because the body is accustomed to tobacco or alcohol. That is when they may need some medications. So the general physician or a psychiatrist may help them. Okay. So then action maintenance. In case of drugs, illegal drugs, withdrawal symptoms will be very high. So they should get the help of a psychiatrist or a de-addiction center. It is better to get admitted. Even in case of tobacco, very severe tobacco addiction, don't do it in counseling setting. I would say you should do it in a psychiatric setup or de-addiction setup. So you can apply the same concept for social media addiction. You can apply the same concept for game addiction, because people use that as a managing strategy to escape from their issues such as depression or anxiety or stress. So they are always used as self medication, and most of the games are fulfilling your needs. It will fulfill your love and belongingness needs, esteem needs. It will fulfill your safety security needs. Otherwise you get that kind of feel during the games, and you are addicted. And I would say there are a lot of psychologists involved in the development of games. They make sure that dopamine is secreted. You are addicted to that. Okay, so on the one day morning they go to the game center and then create games that will addict them. In the evening they do de-addiction. What an ethical practitioner they are. So addiction is basically it is a escape mechanism. So if you are not happy in your life, probably you will get into these habits. So instead of that, if you can be happy by improving your mental health, solve your problems with the help of counselor, you may not get into this. Sometimes there is peer pressure. Yes, there is esteem issue. There are a lot of people who have told me that I had a friend and he told that if you are my friend you should smoke or you should drink. In order to prove my friendship, I smoked or drunk, and I have become an addict, and he has quit. And it can happen, but if you are happy, if you are assertive, then you wouldn't say yes to him. There are other people who told that he asked me whether I am a male. In order to prove I am a male, I have smoked. My simple question to all of them who are asked this question, and because of this you have got into smoking or alcohol, don't you know you are a male when you were born? Nurse didn't tell you when you were born in the hospital, or your mother did not see that you are a male. You are not named with the boy's name. Okay, so we know we are males. Nobody has to tell us that. Okay, so they will trigger you by asking questions like, are you a male, are you a friend? But don't get into all these things. This is a slow poison. Okay, so poison we will not experiment. We will not see how it is. Now, if it is sweet, we can experiment and see how it is, but it is a poison, but unfortunately slow poison. We do not know in the beginning itself it's a poison. So I have seen a lot of people getting addicted, getting into a lot of physical issues, physiological issues such as stomach cancer, blah blah blah. So it is very difficult to live with such things. Now the medicine can help you to increase the quantity of life, but not quality of life. Okay, your quality of life will be very poor if you are addicted. If you are able to stay with social drinking, great, but with tobacco it's not at all possible. Tobacco means tobacco user, non-tobacco user. There is nothing as social smoker. There is nothing like that. So people end up becoming addicts sooner or later. Okay, so if you haven't started these habits, don't get into it. It is not a habit to be experimented. If you have, or if someone has got into it, help them with these strategies. It's better to meet a counselor or a psychiatrist and get some help. There are a lot more things that can be done. So this is the kind of idea that I can give you right away. When we meet in person, when you come for the course, you can ask me questions and I can answer further. Thank you.